Ladies and gentlemen, dear viewers, welcome to Canal de English. This is a program MOTIVAMIN. MOTIVAMIN is a program of motivational talk and on personal development, coaching, entrepreneurship, and success. Today on MOTIVAMIN, we will be sharing on a very special topic on how to become all you were born to be. It's about greatness. It's about how to become great. It's interesting to know that all men were born with the seed of greatness. And we just said all men were born with the seed of greatness. And I am TG Sonfo, and I'm a motivational speaker. And talking about greatness, the seed, whatever you do with the seed defines the future of that seed. So if we were all born with the seed of greatness, it simply means that whatever we do with that seed defines our future. So we will be looking at a few keys. How do we achieve greatness? William Shakespeare had this to say. He says, some people were born great, others became great, and to some others, greatness was conferred. And so whatever be your case, whether you were born great, born to become great, or you are expecting greatness to be conferred on you, the truth is, everybody can become great. Once more, you're welcome. I'll tell you a story. It's the story of a businessman, and this businessman was selling what we call balloons. And at some point in time, his business began to slow down. And while the business began to slow down, he sat and thought about what he could do to make his business kick back. And while he was thinking, he got an idea, a bright idea, an ingenious idea that boosted back his business. And this is what came to his mind. And he threw some balloons up. He threw the greens, he threw green balloons, he threw up yellow balloons, he threw up white balloons, he threw up all colors of balloons. And there came this little boy that asked him, "Sir, excuse me, if you would throw the black balloon up, because I didn't see any black balloon up, if you would throw the black balloon up, will it also go into the air?" And the old man looked at the young man and said unto him, "Son, it is not the color of the balloon that makes it go up. It is the content of the balloon that makes it go up. Balloons don't go up because of their color. They go up because they carry something that makes them go up. That is air. Whatever be the color of your skin, black, white, yellow, brown, you were destined for greatness." And this is interesting. And if we were all destined for greatness, the question is, why don't some people become great? Why is it that just a handful of people end up achieving greatness or becoming great? One of the reasons, or one of the most important things to understand, is that we don't become great because there are some obstacles on the way to greatness. And we'll be sharing four obstacles to greatness, four things that impede the process to achieving greatness, to climbing the mountain of greatness and staying there. And the first is what we call comfort. And comfort is the enemy number one of greatness. Why don't a lot of people achieve greatness? Because of comfort. Comfort is generally defined as the state of being physically relaxed and free from pain. Is the place where you think you have everything. Is the place where you think you have achieved a lot. Is the place where you think you don't need to do anything anymore. You feel you have gotten a lot of certificates. You don't need any certificates anymore. Is the place where you think you've built a lot of houses. You don't need to build any house anymore. Is the place where you feel you've got a lot of money and you don't need to get any more money. Is a place where you feel, I've gone around the world, I don't have any country to travel to again. Is a place where you think, oh my God, I'm so blessed, I have so much, and so why do I need to struggle again? It is called comfort, and that is the enemy number one of greatness. If you stay in comfort, you stop confronting. And I usually say this: those who stay in comfort do not confront. And those who do not confront cannot come to the front. So comfort becomes the place where people would be great people or end up not achieving what they were supposed to achieve. I usually say, as long as a man is alive, there is a place called ahead. As long as a man is alive, there is a place called ahead. no matter how much you have achieved, there is still so much to achieve. Or as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as an academic, as a professional, as an accountant, whatever you are doing in life, no matter how much you have achieved, there is still so much to achieve. Remember this, as long as a man is alive, there is a place called ahead. If you are still breathing in air, it means there is still something you have to do. And what we have to keep in mind is that the greatness we achieve does not only concern us, because our destinies are interwoven. If I become great, there are a whole lot of people that become great with me, because my wealth entails the wealth of somebody. My greatness entails somebody else's greatness. So when I become great, I don't become great just for myself. I become great for someone else who is looking at me. And so it's important, even when you think you have already arrived, remember there are some people who are looking up to you, who want to become who you are already or better than who you are. So as long as you are alive, there is a place called ahead. Comfort is a destroyer of greatness. Comfort is a destroyer of destiny. If you want to become great in life, don't accept to stay in comfort. Don't accept to stay in the comfort zone, because you have to step out of your comfort zone to get into the confrontation zone for a bigger level. This is interesting. Now, the second obstacle to greatness, remember we are talking about 4 major enemies of greatness. And why don't people achieve greatness? Why is it that a lot of people, in spite of the fact that the seed of greatness lies dormant, latent in every man, why is it that a lot of people don't achieve greatness? And we are looking at 4 obstacles to greatness. And the first one we said is comfort. Remember, as long as you're alive, there is a place called ahead. I wish you say that to somebody who is close to you. You're watching the program with somebody, you're watching probably in your house, in your office, or somewhere else. You can share that with somebody. You can write that down and print it out, paste it somewhere where you can read, where you make your hair, or you do your hair, where you or do your beard, where you do your makeup, where you watch every morning, close to your mirror, or in your office. Paste it somewhere and write it there. As long as a man is alive, there is a place called ahead. In other words, you have achieved a lot of degrees, a lot of certificates. There are more to get. You've gone to school, you've built a lot of businesses. There are more to build. Why? Because once you decide to settle in comfort, you have engaged the process of your destruction. But that will not be you, because I believe you are listening, you are getting this, and we become what we hear. Enemy number 2. The second enemy of greatness is what I call comparison. Comparison is a destroyer of greatness. Comparison is a destroyer of destiny. What is comparison? It's simply trying to bring yourself to the level of other people, analyzing what they have achieved and analyzing what you have achieved, and trying to bring them together. But what you have to understand is, whosoever you compare yourself with becomes your limitation. Whoever you compare yourself with becomes your limitation. If you compare yourself with your neighbor, he becomes your limitation. If you compare yourself with your boss, he becomes your limitation. If you compare yourself with your lecturer, he becomes your limitation. So comparison is not necessary, because we don't have all the same callings, we don't have the same vocations, we don't have the same passions in life. Some are called to be barbers, some are called to be pilots, some are called to be accountants, some are called to be entrepreneurs, some are called to be market people. We all have various passions and vocations and callings. And so you can't compare yourself with someone else when you don't have the same calling the person has. That will be a big mistake. It's really not wise to compare yourself with whosoever under the sun. You are so peculiar, and your particularity is so patent. There are not 2 people like you. There is only one you on earth. Yeah. Oh yes. That's why it is said your footprints are just unique. Even identical twins don't look alike in their footprints. probably on their facial expressions or characteristic traits, but not in their footprints. That's an indication of the Creator that every man is unique. You are unique, and let your uniqueness shine. Hey, this is MOTIVAMIN. MOTIVAMIN is simply the vitamin of motivation, and that's what you are receiving on this broadcast. So understand that you don't have to compare yourself with any other person. Be yourself. Be yourself. The only way to achieve success in life is to remain yourself, to be yourself, and to become yourself. Someone said, and I believe that was John Mason, he said, if you compare yourself with someone else, the highest you can be is number 2. You can never be what another person is. If you compare yourself with any other person, the highest you can be is number 2. You are an original. Don't die a photocopy. You are an original. Don't die a carbon copy. You were created unique. You were made unique. You were branded you. You are the only you are. And you are the only you can be. When you try to, of course, I'm not talking about trying to look at role models, people that we want to be like, people we are looking up to, people we want to emulate. There is a difference between emulation and imitation. All right, emulation is simply productive way of looking up to somebody to achieve what the person has achieved. It's not about comparison. When you compare yourself, you destroy yourself. If men had understood the principles of individuality and peculiarity, the notion of the best would not even have existed, because everybody will be striving to be the best of himself. So if there is anybody on earth you should be striving to become like, it's the person you see in the mirror each time you look at it. If there is one person you want to beat in the race of life, it is the person you watch in the mirror every time you look into it. If there is one person you want to become like, if there is one person you want to be greater than, the greatest competition any man can have is the competition with himself, is becoming his very best. And if you can strive to become your very best, the world will be your parish, like someone said. So the enemy number 3 of greatness is what I called complacency. Complacency is a destroyer of destiny. What is complacency? Complacency is simply staying in a state of in an unpleasant state, yet being comfortable in it. Now I'm going to show you very quickly in few seconds the difference between complacency and comfort. Comfort presupposes a state of well-being, while complacency presupposes a state of an unpleasant state. So in comfort, I am in well-being, and I stop working, I stop striving, I stop fighting, and that becomes the obstacles to my ascension to the top. In complacency, I don't even have anything. I'm poor, bastard, rejected, downcast, outcast, yet I sit somewhere in the mud. That's complacency. So the comfortable wouldn't move, and the complacent don't even want to move, and that becomes a break to his greatness. And the last enemy of greatness, remember we talked about 4, and then this is the last one. The last enemy of greatness, number 4, that we have here this morning, that we have here today, is what I call complex. Oh, this is terrible. So you don't want to be in these 4 things. Number 1, comfort. Number 2, comparison. Number 3, complacency. And number 4, complex. Either superiority complex or inferiority complex. You don't have to find yourself in it. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to fight these 4 enemies. And on a different broadcast, we will be talking about the 4 secrets that are the opposite of these 4 enemies. Thank you for listening. It was MOTIVAMIN, and I'm TJ Sonfo.